What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a really cool Ultra League team for you all to check out. It's going to be Annihilape, Bellibolt, and Shadow Ampharos. Bellibolt, I have been seeing here and there on social media, other creators, other trainers in our community talking about its potential, and today we're going to see Meloette 2001 showcase it here in the Ultra League. It doesn't come at any surprise that Annihilape and Shadow Ampharos are part of the core of this team, incredibly strong for this meta. But I want to see what a Zap Cannon Bellibolt is going to be doing today. I hope you guys enjoy. Shout out again to Meloette 2001 for sharing these battles with us. Let's go and get right into it. Alright, getting into the first battle. Now, Meloette, this is what I like to see from trainers. Previous legend, you can tell by the pose right there, and in the veteran range. So if you guys are in that range, this team might be something to worth trying. We do see a Shadow Dragonite here on the lead versus Annihilape. Now, their Annihilape is running with Ice Punch, which is crucial for these matchups, and honestly crucial for this meta because there are a lot of dragons in it. Now, will Night Slash overtake that in terms of meta coverage? Potentially, but what we see right here in this matchup is the Ice Punch is going to be putting shield pressure down on the Shadow Dragonite after they opted to no-shield the Dragon Claw, and we will see a swap out now into the Shadow Ampharos. Now, a Ferrothorn is going to be coming in, something actually pretty spicy for this meta. I believe it has to be XL as well. Makes a good core, don't get me wrong, with the Shadow Dragonite there. But I wasn't going to be expecting a Ferrothorn swap in, especially in the Ultra League. Now, Shadow Ampharos in this situation is kind of in a tough position. The Volt Switches aren't doing that much damage, but the Brutal Swing here is going to be able to get them low enough where maybe the Ampharos can come in and farm down and have another Ice Punch ready. That's all going to depend on the health remaining. So we will see the Ferrothorn now decide to throw the charge move, which is fine. They're going to go ahead and let it go, rightfully so. The Ampharos needs counter energy right here in order to get to another Ice Punch, which could in turn get a second shield, and we will see they do get, what, 3 counters through right there. They're 1 counter away from another Ice Punch here. Shadow Dragonite is coming back in, so they're going to be able to get the Ice Punch off, and then I suspect we are going to see a Bellibolt swap in. Will it sweep this game? Final shield is gone. Bellibolt is now on the field. Thundershock, Discharge, and Zap Cannon. No shields remaining for the opponent, and we are about to see this incredibly, I'll say, unique looking Pokemon probably sweep. Discharge here, gonna be taking out the Shadow Dragonite, and look at the smile on Bellibolt's face as it's gonna be, boom, taking it down. Oh, and it's a Skarmory, see ya! Oh, they do decide to surrender, so that is gonna be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving to the next one. Annihilape versus Jellicent. Kind of a tough lead matchup. They do have 2 great answers in the back, so we're going to see the Shadow Ampharos safe swap. And the opponent swapped out right away as well into Sylveon. This is very interesting to see a fairy safe swap. And what I have always seen, at least in my past, is if you see a fairy safe swap, there's usually a... Oh, an attack boost right there. Very interesting. Let's see how this... Oh, it's Trailblaze. Sorry. Forgive me. I was like, wait, hold on. How did Brutal Swing give the boost? My bad. Looping back, if we ever see a fairy safe swap, there is a good chance there is a second fairy in the back. So I would not be surprised if we see a Charmer back there, whether it's Shadow Granbull, Togekiss, maybe Shadow Alolan Ninetales, double fairy. If you safe swap one, there's usually a second. It's just what I've seen, especially like Razor Leafers as well, right? And there it is. It is the Shadow Alolan Ninetales, the double Charmer, so they're going to go ahead and go for the Trailblaze right here. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage as the opponent decides to give up a shield. Can't believe I freaked out on a Trailblaze boost. Not able to get the damage off, though, and this is kind of tough. I feel like Annihilape is going to be the best answer right here, and that's because of the counter damage, because Bellibolt, remember, is doing super effective damage against Jellicent, and there are no shields remaining, so we will see the Psyshock nearly take out the Annihilape, the Bellibolt swap in to load up on energy, and the opponent is now so far behind that we are going to see this Zap Cannon do an incredible amount of damage, as Bellibolt is going to be booming today. I can't... It didn't knock out. Come on, Bellibolt. That was like the opportunity to get a full, beautiful boom, but we didn't get it. That's okay. Maybe it was a perfectly timed undercharge, as the discharge now is going to be coming through to knock out the Alolan Ninetales. I think this is going to do enough neutral damage, to be honest, and yeah, it does. Bellibolt, nice sweeper right here in the Ultra League. Good game. All right, moving to the next one. Annihilate on the lead versus Dragalge. Okay, kind of toughly. Actually, tough for this whole team because of the dragon typing right there, right? It resists all those electric type moves, but thankfully, they're going to be doing super effective damage here with Ice Punch. I know when you look at Dragalge, it feels like it's a Kingdra, right? It's the water dragon because it looks like it just swims underwater, right? But it is poison dragon, so it actually takes super effective damage from Ice Punch. As they let the Aqua Tail go through, they are able to get to the next Ice Punch. We may see a swap out here at this point if they want to keep Annihilate alive. That's exactly what they're looking to do as they come in with the Ampharos right now to load up on energy. Ampharos in a great position to win charge attack priority right there with the Brutal Swing. This is putting so much pressure on Dragalge as they decide to shield. Shadow Ampharos now in a really good position where they could give up a shield, which they are going to do, and try to go for the aggressive farm down. Next Pokemon coming in is going to be Greedent as they go ahead and go for the next Brutal Swing. So no Trailblaze right there to boost their attack because it's guaranteed. Don't freak out like I did. But Greedent, probably one of the most annoying Pokemon to face off against because of Mud Shot and Body Slam. And Trailblaze can actually do quite a bit. I like how I talked about Trailblaze for Ampharos and the Greedent decided to throw it at me. Alright, I'm getting trolled today by these this battle showcase. Brutal Swing, though. We see a counter swap back into Annihilate here to catch the energy, keeping the Ampharos alive and forcing the energy now from the Greedent. Body Slam not going to be enough damage. Annihilate is going to be able to get the farm down, but not in time. Unfortunately, Greedent is able to get the final Body Slam off. And do you come in with Bellibolt now to farm down? That is what they're doing. Dragalge is low. Final Pokemon is going to be a Venusaur. This is going to be kind of tough, especially since Dragalge could potentially catch the charge move. Now, does the opponent know the count? Do they know the amount of Thunder Shocks needed for Zap Cannon and Discharge? Do they even know what Bellibolt has as a charge moveset? Because I didn't before watching this video. A Zap Cannon here is going to be landing against the Venusaur. That's a lot of damage. They get the attack debuff as well. Dragalge trying to come in and load up, but they catch the charge move on the Shadow Ampharos. Bellibolt is in a huge position to potentially win this game as the Outrage. They caught the Outrage. That is huge. Bellibolt now coming in, loading up on energy. He's going to have to throw a Discharge. No, they're going for the full farm down, the Hail Mary. Hopefully this Aqua Tail is not going to knock out. And hopefully Dragon Tail doesn't as well. They do get the farm down. Zap Cannon now is locked and loaded. Venusaur is not going to be able to survive. Bellibolt with a smile on his face is going to be taken out. Boom! The Venusaur, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Alright, Bellibolt's winning me over. It's got my attention now. That was pretty cool. Alright, moving to the next one. Annihilate versus Obstagoon. Well, we know how good this matchup is. Let's see what the opponent decides to swap into right here. It's going to be a Hypno. Okay, so they're going to look to swap into the Shadow Ampharos. A bit behind right now, so the Hypno definitely has the upper hand. But thankfully, the Ampharos has access to super effective damage with that Brutal Swing. Whereas this Hypno is only doing neutral damage across the board. But you do have to respect the potential return, because it is purified right there. The potential Shadow Ball and the potential Focus Blast. Even Double Punch from this range is going to be pretty deadly. So we will see the Ampharos shield. It is a Thunder Punch, unfortunately, as Brutal Swing now is going to be coming through. So that was free resisted damage, but I bet you they want to maintain switch advantage right here. So we will see the Ampharos likely double... No! Going to go ahead and no shield, and it is going to be a Shadow Ball. Boom! Down it goes. Now, Bellibolt is going to have to carry this game. Obviously, if they have a second answer to a fighter in the back, it could be bad news bears for Annihilate, unless it's something that takes a lot of damage from Shadow Ball, because we are in the 1-0 shields, as Bellibolt is going to go ahead and let this charge move go through, and it is going to be once again another Shadow Ball. So Bellibolt loading up on energy, going for Zap Cannon right here. This is going to be enough to take out this Hypno. Boom. See ya. And then we're going to see a fast swap right away into Annihilape to get ahead on energy. As the Obstagoon comes in, it's actually going to be a Galarian Wheezing in the back. So Shadow Ball going to do really good in this situation. The tough thing is for Annihilape is, will they be able to successfully shield the Play Rough? As Wheezing in the Ultra League will likely have it due to the coverage that it provides. As they do shield the Play Rough. We are now in a great position. Annihilape gets to the Shadow Ball in time, and unfortunately Obstagoon could not avoid the inevitable destruction. Boom! As the Wheezing goes down. Obstagoon is coming in. Night Slash is not going to be enough. Cross Chop is not going to be enough. Annihilape is going to be annihilating this Obstagoon right here with Counter and Ice Punch, and that is going to be a good game. The Ice Punch won't knock out from this range, but they should be able to counter down. Good game right there. All right. Moving into the next one, we have Annihilape on the lead versus Golisopod. Okay, so two good answers in the back. We will likely see a swap out right away into Shadow Ampharos, and we do see a Gliscor come into this matchup. So Gliscor obviously has to land an Earthquake in order to one-shot this Ampharos. The Night Slash damage really won't be enough. So Ampharos and Meloette here have a good opportunity to flip this mid-game matchup as they decide to shield here. Is it the Earthquake? Yes, it is. That is huge for the Shadow Ampharos, now so far ahead on energy and shields. They're going to go ahead and go for Trailblaze now, as they can easily invest one more shield to flip this mid-game, as the Trailblaze is going to be landing. Attack is boosted. Brutal Swing is thrown. It's not Shadow Gliscor, just regular Gliscor is now falling behind as they let it go. Boom, down it goes. Ampharos is on a tear. Maintained switch advantage, plenty of health, even shields. Things are looking good, and Golisopod coming in spells bad news bears for the opponent. If they're weak to Ampharos in the back, that means Bellibolt is sweeping this game. Brutal Swing is going to be landing. Golisopod is on its last straw. They're going to go ahead and let it go and unleash the Bellibolt. Liquidation does knock out. Bellibolt comes in. Here we go. What is in the back? The full farm down happens. We'll never find out. Oh! Talonflame? Maybe Talonflame? That would be my guess. Alright, good game. Alright, we got Annihilape versus Greedent. Greedent smells a hard counter right there. Did you see the sniff? I always like noticing the little subtleties of these animations. I think Niantic does a great job with the animations. We obviously have some takes about things Niantic does that are bad and things that they do that are good. The animations for this game, whether they do it or what, they're involved with getting the assets into the game, right? Whoever does it is, it's really nice. I love the animations of our combat system here. As Bellibolt looking to take down this Tentacruel with Thundershock and Discharge. That's what's so cool, is they have a choose your hard-hitting move, right? The low energy Discharge or the one-shot Zap Cannon, which is obviously good for some big booms, as we've seen in this video. Bellibolt decides to give up a shield there on the Scald, needing to load up to a double Discharge in order to win this mid-game matchup. And with that attack drop, we'll have to see if it's actually going to be enough damage to one-shot a Tentacruel, as it is. Tentacruel goes down. We do see the Greedent come back in. Bellibolt going for the Zap Cannon. He gets there in time. 50%? 60? 69%? 50%. Able to get it down. Greedent is low. Annihilape comes in loaded on energy. And we'll have to see what Pokemon number 3 is going to be in the back. My guess, a Flyer. Let's find out. Annihilape loading up on energy. Maybe even something like Giratina. But yeah, my guess is a Flyer right here. Let's see if I'm right. Crunch. No, it's another Annihilape. Same, but different. By being able to counter other fighters, right? You see what I did there. Shadow Ball is going to be landing or shielded, and we will see them go for the next one. Hopefully, they can get there in time. Annihilape is going to be giving up the final shield. It is going to be a race as the Night Slash was thrown. Can they get there? 1, 2, and they win. Charge attack priority. Annihilape is going to be landing the Shadow Ball, but will the opponent be able to hang on? Barely. That's alright. Shadow Ampharos is going to take this. Shadow Volt Switch is far too much damage for a Greedent and Annihilate to handle, so we are just going to see the fast move farm down, and that is going to be the good game. Very well played, as they do decide to surrender. Alright, moving to the next one. Annihilate versus Empoleon. Empoleon does not want to see this team. Let's just say that straight up. Neither does Kingdra. Kingdra in a very tough position because obviously Meloette here doesn't need to be swapping out of the Annihilate in order to have positive matchups because every Pokemon on this team can beat the Empoleon. So what we are going to see is a no shield right here, hopefully on the Octazooka. Yeah, it is going to be the Octazooka. Swap out now into Shadow Ampharos, and this is looking so tough for the opponent as the Ampharos is in such a good position. A free Trailblaze is going to be thrown. The damage from Volt Switch is going to be adding up, and they can easily shield the next charge move right here in order to maintain a lot of health on this Ampharos because Empoleon is not going to be able to get through it, especially with the boost. Final Pokemon is going to be Dragalge. Okay, so this game is still winnable, or not. This game is still in control for Meloette. It's looking very tough for the opponent to try to overcome just because of the raw damage that we're seeing here from the Shadow Ampharos. So we're going to see a no shield on the charge move. We will likely see the Annihilate come in. Maybe Bellibolt can sweep. Yeah, Annihilate come in and go for the Ice Punch right here. Force that final shield from Dragalge, and they do get there in time, which is perfect, because if they decide to shield, we're going to see a swap out here into Bellibolt, but they let it go. We see a swap out anyways, and a counter swap into Empoleon. Blind swap on both sides, but the opponent did not know that Bellibolt was lurking. That Bellibolt, whatever this thing is, it's interesting. I don't even know what kind of creature that is, but it's locked and loaded with a lot of energy as Discharge is going to look to land against the Empoleon. They do decide to let it go through. They can easily probably farm down from this. I don't know. The Empoleon here can gain energy pretty quickly. I don't think they get the full farm down yet. They're just going for the Discharge right here after loading up to 2. That way they have plenty of energy for Dragalge on the back end, as this game is still going to be kind of close. No, the health there is a bit too low. Discharge is going to be landing, and that is going to be a... They decided to shield. Okay. All right, fighting the good fight. Get farmed down by a Bellibolt. Good game. Alright, moving into the next one, climbing up the rankings. I think this video started, Shadow Alolan Sandslash, that's a good lead. This video started in the mid 2500s, and they're in the 2600s now. So their sets are going really well. We do have a Goodra swap in, so a free Ice Punch right here. And this is going to be kind of tough. Shadow Ampharos Shadow Alolan Sandslash is tough for this team, but Ampharos is going to have to come in and put in work against the Goodra, as they need to maintain health on the Annihilate in order to take down the Shadow Alolan Sandslash. So a Brutal Swing will be landing. Goodra, though, in a great position to let that charge move go through, and now putting pressure down with the potential Aqua Tail, maybe Power Whip. It's going to be the Aqua Tail. Ampharos is able to hang on and does win charge attack priority right here. This is huge. Had the Goodra thrown the Power Whip, Ampharos gets knocked out and they get switch advantage. But instead, we will see the Sandslash come in and get a few Shadow Claws off. Annihilate now needs to wait out this clock. Their switch clocks are misaligned, so we are seeing Meloette hold the swap in and now bring in Annihilate, as we do see the swap out here into Shadow Dragonite. So an Ice Punch going to be forcing that final shield. Bellibolt, unleash the Bellibolt, as we do see the swap out, and now we are in a very good position. Bellibolt is locked and loaded. 2-0 shields get to the Discharge as well before Dragonite is able to throw. Will this one-shot? No, it doesn't, but they can easily farm down, load up on energy, and look to go for the Zap Cannon, but I think they went for charge attack priority right there. So they will be able... No, they didn't. They're going to go for the farm down. No, they're going to let it... Annihilate is the win condition. Let's be completely honest. They're going to let these go through. 2-shield Annihilate. It's not as fun. It's not as fun to watch a Zap Cannon as to watch a Zap Cannon, but it's still pretty good. as, oh, this is going to get kind of close. Shadow Claw is doing quite a bit of damage, but thankfully Annihilate does have 2 shields remaining and can easily stop the Ice Punch in order to go for the their own Ice Punch right here to knock out the Shadow Alolan Sandslash. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one. We have Annihilate on the lead versus Lantern. Okay, so Lantern swimming its way up to the Ultra League as a best buddy. I would love to get one day myself, but I need a really good, maybe spring or summer water event as they swap into Ampharos right here to try to catch the charge move, and a Dragalge is going to be swapping in. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a double dragon team right here, as Dragalge could easily be the safe swap of this team. And if it is double dragon, so something like Giratina Altered or maybe Shadow Dragonite, is gonna be as the anchor, and they do not want to see the Ampharos with the Brutal Swing, right? The Dragalge is the best option. Now, does Meloette want to go for switch? No, they're gonna go ahead and let this go. I think we're gonna see an Annihilate farm down right here with counter. They do need to be concerned about the potential charge move here from Dragalge, but Lantern does. No, they come in with Bellibolt instead. Unleash the Bellibolt as they load up on energy. I guess we could see this coming. The best energy farm right here. They decide to shield. It is going to be the Outrage. They're loading up on energy. Let's see if Lantern is going to be coming in. It is going to be Lantern, so maybe it is in fact a Shadow Dragonite in the back or some type of flyer, as we do see a Surf get no shielded and a Zap Cannon coming through. Bellibolt grinning from eye to eye right there. A Zap Cannon, oh, it almost one-shots. Now, they're going to no-shield right here. We may see a fast swap from both trainers into Annihilate and Pokemon number 3. But no, both trainers decide to stay in. They're looking to go for the farm down. Annihilate gets the counter down. What is going to be in the back? It's going to be a Fairy Clefable. I was not seeing this, but Ice Punch now looking to be thrown as the bait. There is a lot of energy here for Meloette. Ice Punches does neutral damage. Shadow Ball does neutral damage. Bellibolt has energy in the back. And Annihilate is trying to knock down the shields, as Clefable is still a very bulky Pokemon to try to take down. But Clefable having access to that Fairy Wind. If you guys didn't know, a few seasons back, it got access to that high energy gaining fast move, is gonna be able to spam, but Annihilate gets to the Ice Punch in time. Will we see a shield from the Clefable? Yes, we do. Bellibolt is gonna be unleashing the discharge, and that is gonna be a good game, very well played, as Bellibolt gets the win. Very good battle right there. That was not the final one. All right, we have Annihilate versus Empoleon. Really good lead, obviously. Great for this whole team. And we do see a swap out into Poliwrath. Uh-oh. 2 Pokemon that do not want to see this entire team. I'm just gonna wager, based on the time remaining of this battle, that I can see that this trainer will not like this team. Because, let's see, Empoleon and Poliwrath versus Annihilate double electric. That spells bad news bears, as we will see the aggressive Volt Switch damage and the Brutal Swing throw right here. Now, this is going to be resisted, but it's at least going to get Poliwrath low enough where they can farm down and maintain Switch, but they're not going to shield. Knowing that they have 2 good answers, the Icy Wind will KO, and do we see Annihilate come into... We just see a surrender. There it is. That is going to be a good game. I think the opponent saw the writing on the wall that there's really nothing they can do. So let's go ahead and rewind it back. Shout out to Meloette 2001 for sharing these battles with us. Bellibolt in the Ultra League is a thing. I think the core of this team, having the Annihilate and the Shadow Ampharos, is actually really nice. And the Bellibolt sweep, as you guys saw today, does very well, especially in the 1-0 and obviously 2-0 shields because of the Zap Cannon, even against that Venusaur, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Shout out to Meloette 2001 for sharing these battles with us. And like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.